Welcome everybody back into Nerd Sesh. My name is Logan, and today we'll be doing a film breakdown on Bo Nix's Week 2 performance versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to be looking at some negative plays, areas where he can improve, some positive plays, some things I thought he did well, and then we'll get into some broader takeaways about his game moving forward. Before we get started, if you have not already, I implore you to hit the like button and subscribe below. Turn on the bell for post notifications so you never miss anything from our channel. All right, before we get into film specifically against the Steelers, I'm just surprised that Bo has struggled this much through 2 weeks of his young NFL career. Now, I know the NFL is a different beast entirely from college, but Bo Nix was an experienced veteran collegiate starter at Oregon and Auburn. You know, he started 61 games in his college career. He set the record actually for most starts in a college career, surpassing Colt McCoy and Kellen Moore, who started 53 games. It's 8 games more than both of those guys. And that's a record that's probably never going to be broken. He gets that extra year of eligibility because of the COVID season. But Bo was really successful in college. He led the NCAA in touchdowns his senior season. He had 42 touchdowns to 3 picks. On his career, he had 113 TDs to just 26 interceptions. And in his final 2 years at Oregon, he led all of college football in completion percentage in back-to-back seasons. The NFL has been a little bit tougher to say the least. Through 2 starts, he has 192 passing yards per game, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a completion percentage south of 60%, a 51 passer rating, and a QBR of 35.7. He currently leads the NFL in interceptions, tied with Anthony Richardson. He's second worst in passer rating and tied 4th worst in QBR. I think the worst stat from his first 2 weeks starting. He's 5 of 24 on throws 10 or plus air yards for 132 yards and 4 interceptions. But with that out of the way, let's get into the film. The first play that we're going to take a look at is in the third quarter on drive 6, a second and goal situation here for the Broncos, down 10-0. It's the Bo Nix interception to Corey Trice in the end zone, and this is a critical mistake for Bo for a few reasons. One, situationally, it's just super costly to have a turnover at this point in the game and in this area of the field, right? You need to come away with points here regardless. You're only down 2 scores. Worst case scenario, if you don't get in the end zone, you should be coming away with 3 points here, right? Worst case scenario, you come away and it's 10-3. Nix takes points directly off of the board for Denver here, and it's just a cardinal sin as a quarterback to do so, especially in the red zone. Now, outside of this being a really bad situational error for Nix, he just can't take this risk, and he doesn't ever read the defense. The Steelers are dropping into a cover 3. There is a disguise look, and I'll get into that in a second, but they're dropping Trice on the deep third, they're dropping Minkah in the middle third, and they're dropping Porter into the other third zone there. So those guys are all taking away parts of the end zone, and I don't think Nix ever sees Trice. And I wonder if the Steelers' disguise blitz confused him. They do this a little bit with their defensive linemen who are lined up at the line of scrimmage. They're going to drop TJ Watt into a flat zone here, and that's why I think Nix never sees the defender in the deep third zone when he throws over the middle to Sutton. If Trice wasn't there, this is a touchdown all day long, but I think that he thinks that Trice is Watt, and Watt is being blocked, and that's why I think Nix throws this ball. Troutman and Burton are open on this play as well. Again, you want to get in the end zone, you want to strike, but you can't take this risk. Troutman and Burton are open. He has to throw this check down here, and he just panics under pressure. This is a great defensive call here by the Steelers, disguising TJ on the blitz. That's why I think Nix never sees Trice in the back of the end zone. And I want to give a lot of credit to Cam Hayward for blowing this play up. He eats Ben Powers alive on this rep, gets pressure immediately. This is the biggest error from Bo Nix in this game, though. You cannot take points off the board in such a close game when you know it's going to be a grimy game, right? You don't need a lot to score against the Steelers to beat them. This is a really big and bad mistake here from Bo Nix. All right, the next play we're going to take a look at is on the following drive, third quarter, drive 7, second and 11 is the situation. And Nix just overthrows Marvin Mims Jr. here. He completely burns 2 Pittsburgh defensive backs. Nix just has to be more accurate. This is a good play call. The seam picks apart Pittsburgh's cover 3. And there are guys open underneath on this play, but I like the shot. Mims burns both guys. He's open. Nix just has to make this throw. There's not a ton of analysis needed. He just misses him, overthrows this one by about 5 yards, throws it out of bounds. Granted, this is a tough play. You're looking at a 60-yard pass in the air. You got to make this throw, man. Mims just burns these guys, and this is a huge shot play that could put you immediately right back in this game. All right, the next few plays we're going to be looking at are from the second quarter on the Broncos' fourth drive. This is 1st and 5 here. The pressure gets home on Bo Nix, and he just throws this one away. It's not a super costly play, but it's a little frustrating here from Bo. So the pressure gets home, and I want to give credit to Montravius Adams. He utterly destroys this double team from Wattenberg and Quinn Miners. But Humphrey is wide open here on a curl route, and he never looks back his way. He's looking left initially, looks him off, never goes back to that side of the field. And when he does look right, he's got Franklin open on a seam route where he could throw this ball over Herbig and fit it in between Pittsburgh zones. So he just misses Humphrey, who is wide open for a substantial amount of time, never looks back his way. And then he's got an angle to Franklin. Instead, he holds on to this football, he waits for the pressure to get home, and he has to throw this one away. Again, not super costly, but Bo just misses this one, man. There's an opportunity to capitalize on here, and Bo just misses it. All right, we're going to stick on this drive here for a second. Still in the second quarter, still on drive number 4. 2nd and 7 is the situation. Bo Nix gets sacked by TJ Watt, basically on a shoestring sack for an 8-yard loss, turns into a 3rd and 15. I do want to start by giving Nix credit here. He doesn't throw an interception, and you can see he wants to throw this ball to Courtland Sutton immediately, and he realizes that Herbig has dropped back into coverage. And this is what I was talking about earlier. It's another cleverly disguised front by the Steelers. Herbig lining up with his hand in the dirt. You think he's going to rush the passer, and he drops back into coverage. So his first read, I want to give him props for not throwing a boneheaded interception here, and I'll cut him a little slack. TJ Watt eats Mike McGlinchey alive on this rep. I mean, just destroys him. But I still think Bo Nix can make this play. A couple frustrating things about this one. One, the fact that he goes down basically without being touched. TJ Watt barely lays a finger on him, taps his shoe, and he goes down. He's got to keep his balance. He cannot go down that easily. I'm not going to show the other one, but this is the second of 2 sacks where Bo Nix gets sacked basically without taking much contact whatsoever. But Nix getting sacked like that isn't even the most frustrating aspect of this play. The first aspect that is frustrating is he has to step up in the pocket to buy time here. I get that Watt beats McGlinchey. He can still step up in this pocket and make a throw. And he's got 2 receivers that are available to get a positive gain here. He's got Dulcich available on a little bit of a curl over the middle, but he's also got Franklin wide open on a deep end. And one of the most frustrating things that I've seen from Nix on this game tape is that he never looks to the right side of the field. From the snap to the second he gets sacked, he is staring down Courtland Sutton, his primary receiver and read on this play. That's just not going to work at the NFL level, right? You got to use the entirety of the field. You got to get through your progressions. And Nix never looks to the right side of the field whatsoever. He's got Dulcich and he's got Franklin. Again, this could have been worse. He could have thrown this interception to Herbig, but it's still not a positive play, and it's very, very frustrating. All right, last negative play we're going to take a look at from this drive. It's 4th and 7, and this play is frustrating for Nix for a few reasons. First, the throw out of his hands hits Patrick Queen in the chest at the line of scrimmage. Could have been an interception. Again, this doesn't have a drastic difference on the outcome of this play. It's 4th down. You've got to get the first down, so this would have been a turnover. And it is a turnover. It's a turnover on downs, but it could have been an interception. So it might have just looked a little worse, but it's frustrating for a few more reasons. Even if Nix fits this ball over Patrick Queen and gets it to Franklin, Franklin is still going to be short of the sticks and likely stopped before he can get a first down, which just shows a little bit of lack of situational awareness from Nix. Again, it's 4th down. You don't have another crack at this. You got to get the first down on this play. So why are you throwing short of the sticks? That doesn't make sense to me. And the third reason why this play is so frustrating is because I think Courtland Sutton is going to become available on this deep end route. It's not going to be the most open route. I think Peasy Jr. and I think Minkah Fitzpatrick are going to have a chance at this ball if Nix were to step up in the pocket and throw it. But he never even gives it a chance. Granted, he does have pressure bearing down on him from both edges. There's a little area where he could step up in the pocket, buy himself that extra second he needs to make this throw to Sutton and make the play. So it just feels like another missed opportunity from Nix here. He's got to step up in the pocket, and he's got to throw beyond the sticks. All right, we're going to jump forward to the fourth quarter, drive 8. It's a 3rd and 6 here for the Broncos inside the red zone, and you need 6 points, down 13-0 in the fourth quarter. You get a touchdown here, bang, bang, you get another touchdown on the next drive, and you are in the driver's seat for the rest of the way. So 3 points isn't the worst outcome by any means, but a touchdown here, and you only need one more to take the lead. Nix throws a ball here. It's deflected at the line of scrimmage, and it's just completely the wrong read. Josh Reynolds is wide open on the left side of the field on a curl route, and Nix never even looks his way. It's a crucial down. Sutton is less open than Reynolds. The ball gets batted down at the line of scrimmage. Nix has got to use the entirety of the field. He's got to have better just field awareness. I mean, Reynolds is wide open, has a chance to turn up field if the corner breaks on him and get the first down. Frustrating play here from Nix. He never even looks back left. All right, we're going to jump forward here in the fourth quarter to drive number 10. Broncos are back in the red zone, trailing 13-3. 2nd and 5 situation here. This isn't a necessarily bad read from Nix to Dulcich here, but it's an inaccurate throw. And again, I talk about him and his lack of field awareness. He never looks back left on this play. And I just think Humphrey is way more open on the left side. That defensive back gives him a little more room. And if Nix throws this inside of Humphrey, I think Humphrey has a chance to turn this ball upfield and maybe get to the pylon. I at least think he gets a first down. So this isn't the worst play here from Nix. It's not the worst read, but he isn't accurate on this throw to Dulcich. And I think that Humphrey is just a little bit more open on the left side of the field, which again, Nix never looks back that way. All right, final negative play until we get into some positives. We are sticking with this drive, the play directly after that one. So fourth quarter, drive 10, 3rd and 5 here. Got to capitalize, got to get in the end zone. And I'll give credit to Nix here. This is the right read. This is the right read here to Courtland Sutton. Steps up in the pocket, finally. But it's just badly overthrown. I mean, he is trying to fit this ball in between 3 Pittsburgh defenders, and the window is certainly there to get Sutton the score. But he just sails this one. Credit to him for not turning the ball over in the red zone again. The Broncos are able to get 3 points, but this is one you got to capitalize on. Sutton is open, and he just is badly inaccurate on this pass. All right, let's get into some positives. This is Nix's best play of the day by far. 3rd and 7 here. Broncos got to have it. And Nix completes one to Sutton for 26 yards. This is a rare deep concept from Denver on the day, but it's a great throw from Bo Nix. He throws this one with anticipation. Sutton wins inside leverage on Peasy Jr., and Nix picks up on it, releases that ball before Sutton's even out of his break. There's a holding penalty on Peasy too, so I'm even surprised Sutton was able to make this play. You know, he's got Dulcich open on the drag, but it's a great play from everybody. He's got good blocking. I respect him being willing to take the shot and knowing that Sutton is going to come open. And I like this play call here from Denver. The other deep routes clear out the defensive backs. And Nix just knows Sutton's going to be there. This is his best throw of the day by far. We're going to stick with that same drive, 3rd quarter, drive number 6, the play immediately following the 3rd and 6 conversion to Sutton. Bo Nix is going to find Josh Reynolds on a 49-yard trick play, and this is Denver's most explosive play of the day. Reynolds does a fake block into a go, and he just burns 2 defensive backs, catches both of them flat-footed. And Denver just catches the defense lacking here. It's a complete breakdown. Minkah Fitzpatrick is supposed to be holding down the middle of the field, but the little fake down below, he just cheats. He just cheats up. He bites. He thinks it's going to be a little bit of a run play, drops completely out of his zone. And Nix fires this one on target to Reynolds. It's a little bit underthrown, but it just catches the defense off balance. And I think Denver maybe should try to do a little bit more of this. This was a great play call and terrifically executed by the offense. All right, we're going to jump forward to the fourth quarter, drive 10, 1st and 10 situation here for the Broncos. And Nix is going to find Humphrey for 27 yards. This is a good 1v1 win by Humphrey. A good ball from Nix. Throws it inside so Humphrey can turn up the field. Nothing really special about this play, just well executed, very simple. Good win here for the Broncos offense and a good ball from Bo Nix. All right, we're going to go back here to the third quarter, drive number 8. We're going to get Bo Nix on a bit of a bootleg out of the pocket here on the move. And I think he delivers a good ball here to Burton. Burton just can't corral this one. It's a little bit high, but I mean, Burton jumps. It hits him in his hands. He's got to make this catch here. Considering that Bo's on the run, I think this is a pretty good throw, pretty good play design, good decision, good read. Burton's got to come away with this ball. So despite it being an incompletion, I think this is a good play here from Bo Nix. Nothing really special here. We're going to stick on the same drive. Third quarter, 1st and 10, drive number 8. And the Broncos just line up an I formation and throw it. Again, this is just a little dump-off pass to Javonte Williams, but I think this is something that can keep defenses on their toes and can create just easy offense for the Broncos and Bo Nix. It's unexpected. The Broncos are really, really predictable. When they line up in single back or an I formation, 90% of the time they're going to run it. And when the Broncos line up in shotgun, 90% of the time they're going to throw it. And so I think this is just a simple way to pick up some easy yardage for a young quarterback and to keep defenses on their toes. I think they should do more of this. For this one, we're going to jump back to the second quarter to drive number 4, 2nd and 5 scenario here. The Broncos come out in an empty set, and the Steelers give them a pretty weak box. It's just a good play call. It's simple numbers. There's not a lot of guys in the box. They run Bo on a designed QB run right up the middle. Bo is not like a bum athlete. You know what I mean? This guy can move a little bit. And again, I think this is just a smart play call. Coming out an empty set, the other team gives you a weak box. You've got numbers up the middle. Let Bo and go get you some easy offense, man. I think this is just a play call that they should turn to in more games. Weaponize Bo's athleticism a little bit and let him get you some easy yardage. So what areas does Bo Nix need to improve the most? First, I think he has to use the entirety of the field. His awareness right now just kind of sucks. He really struggles knowing what's going to come open. He needs to scan the field, and he needs to look off his first reads. He stares down his primary receiver a lot at the line of scrimmage, and I think it's going to lead to a lot of interceptions versus good defenses. He also needs to be better and more situationally aware. He's routinely throwing short of the sticks on 3rd downs and 4th downs. Nix also needs to learn how to manipulate and move within the pocket. He took 2 horrible standstill sacks versus the Steelers. I believe one with Highsmith, one with TJ Watt. And he looks like a statue in the pocket time to time. It's really strange because Bo is not a horrible athlete. Like, Bo is capable of moving. I think it's him consciously getting better with his footwork and critically thinking about moving up and within the pocket. And I think he just needs to rely on his legs a little bit more to buy him time. Like I said, man, Bo's a good athlete. I think he needs to weaponize that a little bit more. And all it is using that split second before the pressure gets home to move to the right spot. I think he can get better at that. I'll cut him a little slack. Like, his line is not great, and they took on a real hellish matchup versus the Steelers, but they create angles, and that's the biggest weapon. Play extension creates defensive breakdowns. You know, you get the defense covering for longer than 3 seconds, 4 seconds, something is going to come open. Next, I think Nix needs to find his wide receivers. Most importantly, Courtland Sutton and Franklin. Also, Humphrey had a good day. He got open on a lot of routes. And to me, those guys are just more consistently winning routes, one-on-one, getting open. You've got multiple bad drops in this game by Greg Dulcich. You've got another bad drop by Burton. And my final takeaway, this isn't just Bo Nix, but it's the Denver Broncos as a whole. I think Denver needs to diversify their playbook. Like I mentioned earlier, the Broncos make it really easy to tell when they're going to run the ball. You got very few runs out of shotgun, and you got very few passes under center. Finally, I think that you need to utilize Nix's legs a little more. I like the para-design QB runs they used in this game, and maybe I would open up the playbook a little more. Some more play actions where you get him rolling out, you know, a little bit more in that West Coast style kind of offense, and maybe some more design runs where you can get him on the move. If I had to grade Bo Nix's Week 2 performance against the Steelers, I'd give him a D-. I think he can execute underneath routes and simple stuff, but he really struggles throwing intermediate and deep balls right now. His accuracy has been a major issue. I'll cut him a little bit of slack. I thought the offensive line did a subpar job. Granted, the Steelers' pass rush is hellish. His receivers struggled with some drops in this game, mainly Greg Dulcich. But Bo lacks polish for such an experienced quarterback. He really seems overwhelmed by the speed of the NFL game right now. He's got to get through his progressions faster. He's got to make decisions faster. And most importantly, he's got to use the entirety of the field I think it's a little too early to say if Bo is cut out for the NFL right now. I think it's a little too early to ring the bell on his NFL career. But it is concerning to me that a guy this experienced is struggling so much at the NFL level. You know, this is a 24-year-old guy, and the big selling point on him coming into the draft was how pro ready he was. Through 2 weeks of his young career, he does not seem pro ready.